This is the stingiest family in the world. They survive on just 1 cup of noodles a day. But today, the wife is extra hungry, so she eats more than usual. Their younger son finishes the remaining noodles, and their older daughter eats whatever is left. Fortunately, she leaves one tiny piece of noodle for her father. He eats it and looks happy on the outside, even though he is heartbroken inside. To save money, the family goes to public restrooms to bathe and use the toilet. The father even secretly steals free toilet paper every day. John's family is forced to live this way because they are $2 million in debt. Fortunately, the city announces a stinginess competition featuring John's family and Matt's family. Both families are given $400 and must survive for 1 week using only that money. At the end, whichever family has the most money left wins the competition and receives $5 million. As soon as the competition begins, both families go to their rooms to sleep. But there is one problem. Everything costs money. Water, food, and even taking a shower costs $5. The very next day, John's wife can no longer tolerate her body odor and spends $5 on a shower. John's son and daughter also buy a cup of noodles each. Meanwhile, Matt's family hasn't spent a single dollar, making it look like John's family is already losing. The next day, John's family visits a supermarket and fills their stomachs with free food samples. Then John's wife and daughter go to the cosmetics counter and put on plenty of makeup while testing the products. That is how they get through the first day without spending any money. Meanwhile, Matt's family puts their $400 on the pillow. But one $100 bill blows away and disappears, meaning they suddenly lose $100. Now John's family is in the lead, so they happily visit a restaurant offering a plate of chicken for just $1. But there is a rule. Only 1 plate can be ordered per table, so the family splits up and sits at 4 different tables. Soon, everyone receives a bowl of chicken soup. But when they lift the lids, they discover that each bowl contains only 2 pieces of chicken, while the rest is filled with chilies and broth. With no other choice, they start eating. But John cannot handle the spicy food and asks for the bill. That's when they discover another rule. If anyone leaves even a single piece of food or a drop of broth, they must pay a $500 fine. The wife immediately tells everyone that they have to finish their food no matter what. Desperate, she orders a bottle of water, only to discover that it costs $30. Now John's family is trapped. They have no choice but to finish every drop of the chicken soup. The wife finally gives up and goes to the restroom to drink some water, but there is no water there either. Meanwhile, her husband and son secretly pour their remaining broth into her bowl. She somehow manages to finish it all, and then the entire family runs outside to drink water. Now it is the final day of the competition, but John's daughter suddenly gets a stomachache. John has no choice but to take her to the hospital, leaving the family with only $5. It looks like they are about to lose. But then John's daughter comes up with an idea. She discovers that the food sold in the vending machine for $5 can be sold outside for a much higher price. So she buys all the food from the vending machine and sells it to workers outside. She even buys food from Matt and then sells it outside at higher prices. And that is how John's family finally wins the competition.